Welcome to Turner Tools, EdTech Tips and Tricks from a Teacher Librarian. Today we are going to talk about Teachingbooks.net, a collection analysis report on diversity and inclusion. Let's get started. All right, so we are trying to use on Teachingbooks.net the collection analysis reports on diversity and inclusion. And in order to do that, we have to convert our data from a MARC file into a tab delimited file. The only way to do it is using MarkEdit, which is a free downloadable utility. And so I've already done that, but if you haven't done that, just Google MarkEdit, download, and it'll take you right to this website, and either do the Windows or the Mac version. It does not work on Chromebook or any other device, that you can't download the actual program. So once you've done that and installed it, you're going to have this utility right here, and we're just going to take a look at that MARC record because we need to know which leader and variable is the data that we need to pull out, which is title and author. That is what Teachingbooks.net is requiring. So we're going to just take a look at that file. I just need to switch it to all files, so it'll pull up my MARC file. It's going to load up that file, and you'll see lots and lots of numbers and lots of gobbledygook. What we're looking for is the title and the author. So the leader, that is the author, is 100, and it's A, and so that's a variable. And we're also looking at 246A, which is our title. So we want to pull that data out. All right, so now that we know that, I actually wrote that down for myself so I'd remember. We go to Tools, Export tab, Delimited Records. And so we're going to grab that file again, which is the export from our integrated library system, and it exports it as a MARC file. And then we're going to decide where we're going to put it. I usually put it on the desktop because I find that that's the easiest place to do it. You'll notice I already have done it, so let's just do that. And we want it to be a tab, so that works perfect. And we're going to go next, and we need to add the fields or the leader. So the leader is 246, subfield is A, or the variable. Then we're going to do 100 and A, add that field, and then we're going to export it. And there we go. That's it. That's all we had to do. And now that we can X out of MarkEdit and go back to Teachingbooks. I'm going to bring that over. All right, so here we are on the collection analysis reports on diversity and inclusion. So we're going to be doing the generated report. You can either copy and paste, build a list one title at a time, build a list copying and pasting over 200 titles. So we're going to go, and I believe we also have the upload feature. So I'm just going to go here. And then once we're at this part, we can actually upload a CSV file. And all I have to do is sign in. I just haven't signed in yet. So I'm just going to sign in. And then you'll notice that I have already done a couple of these. So I'm going to upload a CSV file. All right, so we have to take that TXT file, that text file that we just created in MarkEdit, and we have to take that information. So I opened it up right on my desktop, and I am just copying the information, and I'm going to paste it into a Google Sheet. Now I'm going to do it in a special way, and I'm using the keyboard shortcut Control-Shift-V, because this is going to take away any of the formatting that's on there. I'm going to get rid of that first line because I don't need it. And then I'm going to go to File, Download as CSV. And it's going to go to wherever your downloads go. And we can then take that file and we can upload it to Teachingbooks. So let's go back over there. Now I can go back to Teachingbooks.net and I can upload that CSV file. So I'm just going to call it text, and it is the collection all, and I'm going to choose that file, which should be in my downloads if I'm lucky. There it is. And I'm going to import. And it does take a little while for it to analyze. So we're going to just pause and wait for that to happen. So I'm going to take so if you decide to go back and just kind of do it later, when you come back into teachingbooks.net, you can actually sign in, and then your collection analysis reports will be right underneath the hamburger on the left-hand side. And I'm just going to go into one that I have already done. So this is one that I did as an example. And one thing that I really noticed when I was doing this analysis was that not all the titles are going to be recognizable in teachingbooks.net. So that can be a challenge when you are trying to get an accurate representation of your collection. So in this case, 3,137 titles were recognized, but you'll notice up here it says we were unable to find matches for 2,222 titles. So it's going to give you somewhat of an indication for the collection, but it really isn't going to give us the whole picture because that's a lot of titles that it's missing. But it does give us some interesting data to work with. Another reason why it didn't recognize those titles is just because some of them could not have been diverse titles. So that's another reason why they might not be recognized. But what I really liked about the teachingbooks.net analysis tool is that they also include multiracial as well, and that was something that I found missing in the tidal wave analysis that I did. So this one's really nice. It will, again, you can click on anything and it'll give you more detail, and it'll actually show you the titles that are in that section, so I really like that. And then it'll also look at your curricular area, and then it'll also give you some ideas for adding and weeding titles. So that is the Teaching Books analysis. That's it for Turner Tools. Live long and prosper.